Hey everyone, today we finished the book of Exodus with the tabernacle. When Moses had finished all the work, the cloud covered the meeting tent, and God's glorious presence filled the tabernacle. Moses couldn't enter the meeting tent because the cloud had settled on it, and Yahweh's glorious presence filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud rose in the tabernacle, the Israelites would set out on their journeys. But if the cloud didn't rise, they didn't set out until the day it rose. Yahweh's cloud stayed over the tabernacle during the day with fire in it at night, clearly visible to the whole household of Israel at every stage of their journey. So we haven't covered all of it, obviously, but almost a fourth of the book of Exodus is about the plans for and then the building of this building called the tabernacle. Obviously, I know you're sad we didn't get into all those details. It's kind of an odd end to the book, right? They build this tent and then God shows up in it. So why would this be the dramatic conclusion of the book of Exodus? Well, as we've seen towards the end of the book, the big question has been, is God really going to dwell with Israel or with humanity? You know, it was touch and go for a moment, especially with the whole golden calf thing, where God almost wanted to be done with them. And so this is the big move, that after everything God has done to save them, to lead them out of slavery, to give them a way of life, God is also actually going to live with these people. The tabernacle is it's a fancy word that means dwelling, right? It is a tent. And so it's the idea that this is the unique place where God is present, where God's spirit or presence or glory lives. It's where heaven and earth meet. We don't think this way in terms of temples and tabernacles now, but this was groundbreaking to them. And so, since we don't have the same mindset, we still ask in our own way, is God really with us? You know, we pray the prayer Jesus taught us of our Father who is in heaven. Well, where's heaven? We tend to think it's way off somewhere else. And so maybe God is too. Instead, we need to see that the language of heaven is it's like the other side of reality. And so when we say that God is in the heavens, that means God is always right there. We just don't always see it. As Christians, we believe in the incarnation, that God tabernacled. That's the language John uses in John 1. God made a home among us, God in the flesh in Jesus. And then as Paul says, we are the temple of God. The Spirit dwells in us as the church, as God's people. And so if that's true, that God is just as present in us as God was there in Exodus, well, I think that leads to another question we're probably all asking. So where's the fire? If God is present, why don't we see it in the same way? Why aren't we seeing all these powerful signs like we saw there in Exodus? I think we have to reevaluate what it means for God to be present. We wish it were fire and smoke, but what it actually is peace. What it is the courage to do what's right in a world that doesn't want to hear it. The presence of God is being sustained in whatever moment we're enduring right now. We trust that God is with us, that we can get through this. So that's my prayer for you, that you would know the presence of God and that you can endure even this.